I'm amazed every day as I walk. I've been studying the Bible for over 40 years, and every time I get in the scriptures, the Creator said his words is magnified. I see something else. I see it a little clearer. I see it a little, it's amplified and magnified a little bigger. And I can see something in it that I didn't see yesterday. How many of y'all do that? I think any of y'all that study the Bible seriously, you always have to smile and say, oh boy, I'm glad I read this again because I didn't see this yesterday. His book is the only book in the world that I do that with. The only book in the world that you start reading and you never stop. You never stop because you can always learn something else. Not so when I read Thessalonians and Ephesians in the book of Acts. Not so when I read about Timothy and Paul. But when I read the words of the true and living Elohim, boy, it's a joy. And then when I start studying health and nutrition and naturopathic and holistic living, and I am even more totally amazed than I was before when I study and I look at this little bitty small plant. And I say, boy, I didn't know that I could take this little bitty couple of these little plants in the house and cook them and grab the juice, and the juice can make my kidneys function better. And this plant, I can get the juice and to make my heart repair damaged heart. And if this juice can heal my liver, even if it's a small piece that's left, it can make me grow back another liver with this herb. You don't have the knowledge of a jackass. I had a dog and a cat. When they get sick, they go out and they go in the weeds and they go next door and they smell out of root fruits and they grab one kind of fruit and they eat it, one kind of little grass. Next thing I know, they throw up. They eat another kind of grass. Next thing I know, the bowels is moving. Eat another kind of grass and he's running like a little jackrabbit everywhere. They got more knowledge than me. I've got to learn and study this, but the animals already know. They get sick, they ain't gonna eat your food. You can throw away that canned goods then. They going outside and find the right thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, my cat's sick, he won't eat. They said, yeah, just let him outside. He didn't know what to do. He'd go around the house, sniff around in somebody's yard till he find what he want. When he eat, come back grinning like a chess cat. Grinning like a chess cat.
Yes, sir.
They got more knowledge than you. Almighty's plants and flowers and leaves have so much they can tell us about life. You hadn't even begin to understand how great and how mighty and how extraordinarily Elohim that we have.
Yes, sir.
When he said he's the creator of all, he meant that.
Amen.
He created everything.
Yes, sir.
And it has knowledge of everything. The Almighty's book is the only book that teaches you that you eat the herbs and leaves and you can get well. Can't find that in no Quran. About how to eat right and what to get when you get sick.
Yes, sir.
You get sick, you just die. The New Testament got one verse in the book of Revelation that they took out of Isaiah and they put it there, saying the leaves of the tree should be for the healing of the nation. They took one verse out of that. Other than that, they don't have nothing. All of it, all the teachers, they got to go through our book. And our Creator talks about these things in depth and tell us that these leaves and these herbs will be for the healing of the nations and for the sicknesses. And said he is the one that cures all sicknesses. So regardless what you have, find out they got stuff about AIDS that can cure AIDS. Sure. But they ain't gonna tell you at the hospitals. The doctor ain't gonna tell you. He been to school 8 years and talk like a fool. I didn't know why they used to talk to me like that. I said, so I'm sick? I said, okay, so what do you want me to quit eating? He said, huh?
Right.
I said, what do you want me to start? Is that something you want to start eating? No, just take your pills. Now that didn't sound right. I didn't get sick because I didn't take these pills. That ain't what made me sick. I didn't get sick one day because I didn't get these pills. I never seen these pills. I got sick and had enough sense because I was living wrong. I was eating some things I didn't know about, and I thought the doctor's going to tell me how I got sick so I can be cured and tell me what to eat. What's me? But no doctor told me that. Now, years ago, the old doctors used to tell your mamas and grandmamas, you got high blood pressure, don't eat no pork. Get off that pork, it will raise your blood pressure. But now, the doctors ain't gonna say a word about no swine. They ain't gonna say a word about no pig. I know. You go to them, is that something you want me to stop? No, just take your pills. Just take your insulin, take your shot, that's all. People dying so fast, some of them have to get off of sugar now. No, don't eat nothing sweet. Don't eat nothing sweet. Because they know that you allowed to go, they won't have a patient. They got some different types of diabetes and they go and grab some sugar at the wrong time. So they won't even have a patient. So they'll tell you a little bit about don't eat no sweets. But they ain't gonna tell you what caused it. They only treat symptoms. The Almighty is the only one that can tell you what caused your diseases and what can heal you, and that's Him and Him alone. No one else. We're finished reading.
We're in Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Verse 65.
And amongst these nations
shalt
thou find no ease.
You won't find any
Ease.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Neither shall the sole of your foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and a falling of eyes and a sorrow of mind. I looked at that. Sorrow of mind. Right here they're using the heart and the mind separately as if they have independent functions. But maybe Yahweh's wrong. Let me see if this is what it says in Hebrew. I said, so some of my brothers in class, they stopped me and said they looked it up already. Then the Morays said they looked it up and they told me they were synonymous with each other. In other words, they meant the same thing. I said, but I owed it to the class. If I'm going to teach on it, I might as well look it up anyway. Well, I looked up heart and I looked up mind. And the brothers lied to you. They're not synonymous. They don't mean the same thing. They're different words with different definitions. So the brothers that told you they mean the same thing and they're synonymous, they told you a lie. That's all.
Amen.
That's all it is. It wasn't the truth. Because I went and looked them up. I studied it. Let me tell you something. Everybody has a soul. Soul and body are synonymous with each other. They're synonymous. When it says 70 souls went down to Egypt, that's like saying 70 bodies went to Egypt. But let me tell you something else. Soul and body and mind are synonymous with each other. Because oftentimes when you see mind, you won't see it in all books. And many of the Torahs, you won't see mind, you see soul. Because soul means mind or body. And mind means soul. They're synonymous. But when you look at spirit, the word soul comes from the Hebrew word nashif, which means